Hey guys, welcome back to another video. So in this video, I'm going to be discussing what I've learned in doing two one-shot comics. So for those who do not know, a one-shot comic is a comic where the beginning, middle, and end plot of the story that you were telling, it is all contained within one issue. That could range from 2 pages that's in a collection of stories, or it can range from 30 pages. No matter the page length, everything regarding the story, the beginning, the conflict and resolution, everything is contained within that single series, or not series, but set of pages, page, whatever you want to do, right? Ranging from 1 page all the way into whatever, right? It's all contained within that. And it's usually between, I want to say at least one page, of course, to I think maybe 24 pages. I think it's like the average for a one shot. And I've done 2. I've done one that was 1 page. I think it had 9 panels. In it. Let me double check here. I think it had 9 panels. Let me see. 2, 3, 6, 9. Yeah, it had 9 panels. And the other one was 2, 4, 5 pages, not including the title page and not including the end page. Both of these were done digitally. And some of the things that I learned from doing these projects, I have taken and applied to what I'm now doing with, of course, redoing the first issue of Lynk. So rebooting Lynk, right? And one of the things that I learned was reference, and how important reference is. I think as, I want to say, more beginner artists, or artists that kind of get used to seeing certain sped up videos or progress videos of people kind of doing things, drawings or paintings or whatever, kind of midway through, you don't see maybe the reference that they had pulled beforehand. Another thing would be preparation. You might not see the preparation that goes behind a project before they actually start getting to the actual finalized drawing or painting or whatever they're doing, right? And within drawing these comics, it really not only showed the areas in my art skills that I genuinely needed to improve in, which is another thing that I learned. If you want to figure out where you're struggling in the most when it comes to certain things, pick a story, or pick a short comic, or write a short comic and draw it out. But it definitely opened my eyes to where I struggled and really needed to study more. Like, I know clothing folds was a huge thing for me in these comics, especially the one that was 5 pages, because of the amount of drawing I had to do with drawing folds and stuff like that. Drawing different poses was another thing. I had to draw characters interacting with one another, physically interacting, and that was a learning curve. Drawing characters that look consistent from panel to panel, and that was another thing that I had to learn as well. One of the comics, the 5-page comic, I did in grayscale, so I was working with grayscale, figuring out how to make things darker and lighter, but still give off the mood that I'm trying to give off without using color. Character design, or at least outfits, trying to vary some of the characters so that way they looked different with their outfits versus like a copy and paste with just a different face on top. Learning how to draw different faces so that way it didn't look like the body was a copy and paste and there was just a different face on top as well, right? Or there wasn't just like this face that was like copy and pasted with slight changes. I was drawing characters who were kind of going bald, younger characters, older characters. One of the main characters was a female, and drawing her and figuring out how to do her, and so there was a lot of things that I had to learn from that particular comic. And then the one that I did that was 1 page, with that one, if I can find it, that one was working with color and how can I tell a story that makes sense within 9 panels. And with this one, because it was on 1 page and I did like three rectangles on each line, so 9 panels, what's the bare minimum I need to put in each panel to convey the information that I'm trying to convey? Things like that are what I learned and that I'm trying to take over into Lynk. It's, if you're drawing characters from a distance, how much detail can you really fit of that character when the head is so small, right? You have to learn how to be able to draw just enough to convey that that's the same character when you do a close-up. And dealing with even the silhouettes of characters, so that way even the silhouettes you can differentiate one character from the other. And I think that was one thing I really didn't pull off. I kind of pulled off, but not as well as I think I could have. But that's okay. You can, one-shots I feel like are a great way for you not only to be able to create a comic and be able to have a finished product, but also to push your boundaries and push out of your comfort zone, because you can do 4 or 5 one-shots, and you can even do it with the same characters, right? Same, if you have like a OC or something, original characters, you can do them with your original characters and know that within you doing these comics, they will push you to get better. So that way, if you do have a larger story with these characters that you want to create, or even a different set of characters you want to create, you've got some experience under your belt and you'll feel more confident going into those larger projects, because hopefully you'll take what you've learned from the previous projects into the larger one, and being able to have some experience under your belt will definitely help. So if you are an artist and you are trying to create your own stories and you've got this big epic adventure that you want to tell, but maybe you feel like you're not quite there yet, give yourself maybe a set number of one shots that you would like to create before you start that major story. And give yourself a number of how many one shots you want to create, on average how many pages each one shot will have. So if you're going to say, well, before I start my bigger project, I want to create at least 5 one shots that are 10 pages each, with all of them being a different story, because you want to be able to tell a single story. If you're giving yourself 10 pages, you want to be able to tell your story within those 10 pages. And that'll also help you really understand and really figure out within those 10 pages what you need, especially if you're writing the story yourself, what's important to convey and show within the comic, and then what you can really leave out to help move the story along and get to that finishing point within the set number of pages that you have set for yourself. So creating a one shot is definitely great. It will help you push your limits. It'll help you get out of your comfort zone. It will help you work on the things that you are struggling with. If you tie that one shot to a subject that you were struggling with. So maybe, if you're struggling drawing women, you maybe do a 4 or 5 page, 10 page comic dealing with an example. I'd say like female warrior tribe, Amazon something or the other, and where the majority of the characters you're drawing are nothing but females. And I guarantee you, when you look back and you go from that first page, first panel of the first woman you draw and compared to that 10th page, the last panel of the last female that you've drawn, if you've taken your time and you've really have tried to work on improving or working out the kinks with each female character you draw, you might be able to look back from the last female that you drew to the first one and see hopefully a difference in it, as far as an improvement in those particular skills. So that's all I have for right now. I hope this was beneficial for you guys. Also, in the last video dealing with expectations versus reality, I do apologize about the audio. I did not have my microphone set up or my microphone plugged in, and it was recording from my computer. I wasn't aware of it until afterwards, and I don't think I could have conveyed the same information again if I would re-recorded it. So unfortunately, that one, the audio is just going to be kind of rough. So hopefully it was still useful for you. Hopefully this one is useful for you, and as well as my other videos. And I will see you guys in the next one.